People have been fascinated by tales of mysterious characters for a very long time. Awe-inspiring and terrifying names like fairies and jinn have become ingrained in myth and reality, capturing the imaginations and hearts of people from all over the world. What if, however, these creatures are not as different as we have been taught? Do fairies and jinn represent distinct supernatural abilities in their own right? Or are they merely two characters in a mythical story that has been shaped by culture and time? These figures show striking similarities between the powerful forces that have the ability to shape destiny and the crafty tricksters who entice explorers into the enigmatic realms. Both are enigmatic characters with powers that combine danger and wonder, and who cross the boundaries of worlds beyond our comprehension. But their origins are as different as day and night. Jinn, which are woven into the very fabric of faith, particularly in Islamic teachings, and fairies, which are woven out of the rich tapestry of old European stories. In this video, we explore the enigmatic world of fairies and jinn, learning about their secrets and stories. We will examine their similarities, erratic personalities, and deep causes that have inspired awe and terror throughout history. Do they have similar essences? Are there hidden meanings in their stories that are just waiting to be unearthed? Proceed on your quest to uncover the secrets of these enigmatic beings. Throughout history, fairies and jinn have enthralled people with their mix of mischief and mystery, inspiring both awe and terror in their wake. In the rich tapestry of stories, folklore, and sacred texts, these enigmatic creatures have become deeply entwined. Some believe they are guardians, keeping watch over the wonders of nature and its secrets, while others see them as playful miscreants, causing chaos for entertainment. There is, however, a sinister side to these creatures. Some societies view them as prophets of fear, as beings capable of stealing souls, driving minds insane, or leading nomadic people to their destruction. For ages, they have hovered on the periphery of human consciousness, exerting an influence on our lives that often defies our comprehension. The most intriguing question, however, remains. Are fairies and jinn actually two different things, or are they just two names for the same thing? The idea that these two mystical creatures might have more in common than we first believed challenges us to consider more profound realities, probing the core of human faith, fear, and our never-ending interest in the secrets that are beyond our comprehension. Tales of beings that exist just beyond our senses, navigating worlds, moving invisibly in our lives, and obeying their own enigmatic laws, are common in many traditions. They are not bound by the rules of human nature. They possess the remarkable ability to vanish and resurface, alter their forms, and skillfully manipulate the very structure of their surroundings to fulfill their desires. Sometimes they bless those who revere and are compassionate. Other times, they bring punishment to those who would oppose their will. In their interactions with people, one can observe a dance of joy and fear, wherein goodwill can suddenly turn into danger. The naughty fairies and the mysterious jinn have danced through the darkness in ancient stories, leaving people in a state of apprehension as they wait to see these dangerous yet whimsical creatures. However, what captivates us so strongly? What has captured people's imaginations and hearts about fairies and jinn over the ages? Maybe what draws us in is their enigmatic quality, their capacity to inspire both awe and terror, like an unsolvable mystery. We want to know what they are, but they defy all our attempts to comprehend them completely. We marvel at their power, enthralled by their ability to shape life, vanish into thin air, and alter the very fabric of space and time with a simple wrist flick. These strong, elusive creatures move through life's creases, making us question everything we thought we knew about the world. After that, the fear comes. A deep and ancient fear stirs in many people's hearts in the shadows of uncertainty. Jinn and fairies inhabit worlds beyond human comprehension, where the lines separating imagination and reality blend together in amazing ways. They follow a path free from the limitations of human morality, and their actions take place in a world beyond the well-known lines of right and wrong. They are wild and free, possessing a spirit that is both fierce and mysterious, and we are left wondering how we can interact with their wild nature. But it's this fear that gives them a compelling story. We are moved by their stories, which remind us that there are forces in the world that are beyond our control, our understanding, and our ability to predict or influence. Is it guardianship, deceit, or something much more sinister? The answer may vary depending on who you ask, but one thing is certain: they are not to be ignored. Fairies are woven throughout the history of European folklore, their captivating stories deeply entwined with the myths and superstitions of the past. In the rich tapestry of Celtic and Irish traditions, the IOC, ethereal beings believed to reside in a hidden realm parallel to our own, are frequently encountered. A few legends mention the lingering effects of the Tuatha De Danann, a powerful and ancient family that formerly ruled over Ireland. It is said in the old stories that the Tuatha De Danann did not just vanish after being defeated by mortal invaders. They instead retreated into the earth's depths and changed into the fair folk, who would live in the world's hidden corners forever. As time passed, fairy tales changed, becoming woven into the beliefs and anxieties that molded the hearts of successive generations. They are the vigilant protectors of nature in some stories, defending the holy forests, gurgling rivers, and ancient places. These fairies are like kind protectors, watching over the land and everyone who respects its peace. But not all fairies are good-hearted. Some people tinker with their mischief in a playful way, leading stray animals off their tracks, stealing food, or trading human children for changelings. Beings that appear normal at first, but have an eerie, otherworldly quality, frequently with a hint of evil. In the past, stories were told about places where the line separating the magical and the human was dangerously thin. Sacred grave mounds, tall stones, dark forests, and lakes covered in a mystical fog. It is said that disrespecting these hidden spirits, going too close, or entering a circle of enchantment could cause them to become enraged. The very fabric of time seems to wriggle and turn in their presence. There are legends of courageous individuals who entered the magical world and came out to find that decades, or even centuries, had passed. But to them, it had only seemed like a blink of an eye. Beyond the constraints of human laws and the weight of morality, fairies are free to dance. There are people in the fabric of life who, in their generosity, show kindness to others by protecting them, bestowing blessings, or giving them gifts of enchantment and wisdom. Some people are evil. They entice the gullible with beautiful songs or the promise of wonders, only to imprison them for all time. Even the smallest transgression, such as a careless word or an unsteady step, can quickly transform blessings into burdens. Some fairies take on elegant heavenly forms, appearing as glowing beings with divine brilliance. Some are much less pleasant, strange, twisted forms lurking in the dark corners of forgotten worlds. In the legends of ancient Scotland, there are terrifying creatures called redcaps. According to legend, these small goblin-like beings lurk in the shadows of ruined castles, their caps permanently marred by the blood of those who have been harmed by their evil. Observe the sluag, those spectral creatures believed to be the souls of the dead, as they soar through the night sky, constantly seeking out souls to claim. Humans have longed to gain the favor of the magical creatures for countless ages, leaving presents of bread, milk, or money at the entrance to their enchanted homes. Some whisper that salt is a barrier against their approach, that iron has the ability to drive them away, and that speaking their true name is a dangerous mistake. And behold, the spirit of curiosity persists despite caution. Fairy tales endure because they speak to a profound truth, a proof that there are forces beyond our understanding, beings that lurk in the shadows, watching, waiting, and possibly still preparing their covert influence on the human world. Fairies have been a captivating part of European folklore for centuries, particularly in the rich tapestry of Celtic traditions. Their origins, which are deeply connected to the holy ground beneath our feet, create a tapestry of legend from the mists of time. There is a strong bond with the Aosi, those ethereal creatures believed to live in a secret world that runs parallel to our own, in the rich tapestry of Irish folklore. Some people believe that these fairies are the last remnants of the Tuatha Dé Danann, a powerful and ancient family that ruled Ireland in the past. The old stories tell us that the Tuatha Dé Danann did not simply disappear after being defeated by the invading Milesians. Rather, they retreated into the earth's interior, taking sanctuary in the hills and mounds, and changing into the alluring fair people. The stories of fairies changed over time, blending with the rich tapestry of regional legends and medieval superstitions. In some stories, there are magical creatures that act as stewards of nature, keeping watch over sacred forests, ancient wells, and verdant rolling terrain. They are supposed to watch over these hallowed places, directing mortals to treat them with the respect they merit. Some people, however, tell stories that are considerably darker in tone. Even though they are close friends, fairies are not always kind or bring good news. Many stories warn of their unpredictable and often dangerous nature. With enigmatic lights that dance in the twilight, these naughty creatures, known for their crafty ways, lead stray travelers off their paths. They might enchant someone into a dance in which time seems to pass, like sand between fingers, only for that unfortunate nomad to return home to find that years, possibly even centuries, have silently passed while they were away. The strange agreements of the fair folk are well known. Unexpected consequences frequently result from agreements made with them. A hopeful farmer looks to the heavens for a plentiful harvest during a time of dire need. In a cruel turn of events, however, he learns that the cost of this blessing is the death of his beloved firstborn. The burden of an endless melody that reverberates through their soul may accompany a musician's divine talent, which surpasses the ordinary. Every decision has a price. Cutting off contact with the enchanted creatures can have disastrous results. One of the most eerie aspects of fairy tales is the connection that forms between these magical creatures and human children. There are rumors of children being roused from their quiet sleep and replaced with weak, unearthly creatures that are completely unlike the beloved child. These young children, who are frequently viewed as strange and different from their classmates, find it difficult to thrive in their environment. Some say the fairies steal these babies to raise as their own, while others say they need natural children to maintain their magic. The whispering trees of forests, the soft flowing rivers, the enigma of stone circles, and the solemnity of old burial mounds are just a few of the sacred places where fairies can be found in the fabric of nature. These are believed to be portals to a different realm where the line separating different worlds is thin and easily crossed. Anyone who dares to disturb such sacred grounds by bringing down a magical tree or building a structure on a sacred mound invites terrible consequences. Old stories tell of families plagued by unrelenting bad luck, their fates sealed by the wrath of the fair people. However, not all fairy hearts are evil. There are those who give blessings for good deeds and shelter to those who follow their customs. A fairy might be won over with a modest gesture, such as laying out a small offering of bread or milk. One thing, though, is consistent across all enchantment stories: never undervalue their influence. Fairies, who represent both kindness and mischief, dance between light and shadow in the magical world. They are not to be taken lightly, as their true nature is a tapestry made of threads of caution and wonder. Fairies and Jinn are creatures of wonder in the world of the extraordinary, possessing abilities that arouse fear and amazement and capture the imagination. They are capable of much more than just tricks or clever plans. Their abilities ensure that they must always be treated with the highest seriousness, regardless of whether they choose to aid, obstruct, or amuse humanity. These creatures have influenced countless stories and customs over the ages, from the craft of transformation and illusionary weaving to the control of the mind and the protection of hidden knowledge. What wonders do they have, though? And how do their gifts compare to each other? They have many amazing abilities, but one in particular, the ability to change their form at will, stands out. Fairies are said to have the amazing capacity to change their shape whenever they so choose. Sometimes they appear as glowing heavenly beings, enchantment enough to captivate mortals. They occasionally change into wild animals, moving stealthily through forests and streams while remaining constantly alert. According to some stories, supernatural entities disguise themselves as common people and blend in with them in order to trick, test, or affect their lives. However, some fairies utilize their enchantment to entice innocent souls into their realm, where they may vanish completely. Indeed, Jinn have the amazing capacity to transform into different forms whenever they choose. However, there is a sense of dread associated with the change they go through. They frequently appear as terrifying creatures designed to evoke fear by taking on dark, menacing forms. Some are said to transform into living flames that dance in the dark before revealing their actual nature. In contrast to the whimsical fairies, who may weave their magic for fun or trickery, the Jinn are often portrayed as formidable beings, wielding their shape-shifting powers to evoke fear, establish their authority, or deliver retribution to those who dare to challenge them. Invisibility is a common thread woven through many tales. In the realm of the unseen, both fairies and Jinn dwell alongside humanity. Their presence is felt yet hidden from our eyes. Fairies possess the enchanting ability to vanish and reappear, revealing themselves solely to those they deem worthy. According to some legends, they have the ability to conceal entire regions, creating secret worlds that are only accessible to a select few. Those who wander into these magical worlds by accident may find themselves lost for hours or even years, with no sign of knowing. Indeed, it is believed that the enigmatic creatures known as Jinn reside in the shadows, out of our line of sight. There is a place in the rich tapestry of belief where they live, always close, but hidden from human view, existing in a parallel universe to our own. They may choose to reveal themselves, but more often, they remain hidden, watching and waiting. According to a number of traditions, ethereal beings can subtly whisper into mortals' minds, influencing their decisions and arousing their emotions while staying hidden. Some even claim to be able to take full control of a person's words and actions by inhabiting them. Their ability to distort people's perceptions of reality is among their most unsettling gifts. Fairies use the art of glamour to work their magic in a world where magic is the norm. They can change their own appearances, make things vanish into thin air, or summon whole worlds that only exist in the mind, thanks to this amazing illusionary art. Many of these stories are cautionary tales of people who enter a circle of enchantment, believing they have danced for a moment, only to find, when they return, that years, even centuries, have passed. These mystical beings have the ability to affect human thought and perception, even though they are not frequently associated with the bending of time. They are said to create illusions, distorting reality, until people who are under their influence are unable to tell the truth from fiction. In some cases, they gain total control by possession, using their influence to trick, defraud, or even destroy anyone who gets in their way. In a world where the extraordinary and the commonplace coexist, their powers inspire both wonder and fear, leaving everyone who witnesses them with questions about reality and the secrets that lie beyond the surface. Jinn, on the other hand, originated from pre-Islamic Arabian beliefs. Before Islam gained popularity, it was commonly believed that mystical creatures called jinn lived in the untamed and wild places of the world, such as the dark caverns, the crumbling ruins, and the vast deserts. Although they were not worshipped like deities, they were nevertheless revered and feared. Unrestrained by strict moral principles, jinn roamed the worlds of existence. They might become friends or foes, or they might just stay out of the way, unaffected by mortal affairs. However, they consistently employed unpredictable methods. The understanding of jinn became more distinct as the Islamic teachings spread, becoming woven into the very fabric of religious doctrine. According to the holy writings, creatures called jinn were created by the Creator out of smokeless fire, and they live in a secret world called Alam al-Ghaib that is parallel to our own. They possess the gift of free will, just like humans do. While some choose to follow the sacred teachings, others reject them in favor of lying, controlling, or even hurting people. This makes them both fascinating and intimidating. Stories about jinn have been passed down through the ages, warning us of their enigmatic ability to influence mortals' lives, sometimes subtly and other times powerfully. The jinn are believed to have a more direct and significant impact on the fates of humanity than the charming fairies, whose essence is woven into the fabric of nature and the earth. There have been legends of mystical creatures from antiquity that have the ability to sway people's emotions and lead them down false hope and illusionary paths. There are stories about jinn making deals with humans, which invariably have a hidden cost. Those who strive for power may end up feeling regret because the price is frequently higher than they ever imagined. The connection between jinn tales and possession is among their most unsettling features. The ability of the jinn to fully take control of a soul has long been viewed with fear, even though fairies may enjoy mischief. Stories of souls trapped by a jinn, whose thoughts and actions stray from their actual selves, are told in many traditions. While some become tools of the jinn's will, others are guided into the depths of despair. Religious and spiritual traditions advise against dealing with jinn because their true nature is still unknown to us. it is a risky bet to call upon them, whether out of a desire for knowledge or a need for salvation. But not every spirit is malevolent. Some are said to live among people, out of sight, posing no threat and providing assistance to those who respect them. According to old legends, learned sages and mysterious seers have managed to communicate with jinn, gaining knowledge and insight that is beyond human comprehension. However, one must always exercise caution when reading these stories. Be careful, because if you lack discernment, you should not trust the jinn. They tell stories of mischief by nature, and their motivations are frequently unknown. Despite coming from different worlds, jinn and fairies have one thing in common that makes them both magical. They are mysterious beings. They weave their decisions, whether to help, to obstruct, or to observe from a distance, into the fabric of life, leaving a lasting impression on the foundation of human understanding. They inhabit the enigmatic space between our everyday lives and a more bizarre, pervasive, yet alluringly elusive reality. And the lesson remains the same for those who dare to follow them. Always proceed with caution and never undervalue their influence. On the other hand, jinn emerged from a unique cultural fabric woven into the rich customs of pre-Islamic Arabian beliefs. Before the advent of Islam, the people of Arabia believed in the existence of jinn, enigmatic creatures that prowled the untamed and wild regions. Deserts, ruins, caverns, and abandoned communities all whispered their secrets. Jinn were feared and revered by the populace, but unlike deities, they were not objects of worship. They were viewed as complex beings who could not be reduced to the categories of good or evil. Instead, they were viewed as people who possessed the gift of free will, which allowed them to choose their own paths. Some were gentle, offering their hands in support or direction to those who respected them, while others were ferocious, bringing bad luck to those who ventured to enter their domains or treated them disrespectfully. The concept of jinn became more distinct as the teachings of Islam spread, becoming woven into the fabric of religious doctrine and affecting how the faithful perceived them. Islam's sacred texts reveal that the Creator created jinn from smokeless fire, setting them apart from humans, who were formed from clay, and angels, who were created from light. The jinn possess the same capacity for free will as humans, which allows them to either accept or reject religious teachings. As it happened, some jinn followed the path of faith and righteousness, while others ventured into the shadows, gaining a reputation that inspired both fear and wonder in the populace. There is a mysterious world called Alam al-Ghaib that is out of our line of sight. There, creatures called jinn reside, hidden from human view, but constantly present in the fabric of life. They were believed to have established their own communities, complete with leaders, kinships, and structures. There were rumors of whole jinn civilizations hidden from humanity's view in old stories. Like humans, these creatures flourished in their own worlds, establishing settlements, trading, and even fighting each other. Their connection to humanity, however, was far from simple. Throughout history, numerous tales have warned of the dangers of interacting with jinn. There are stories of people who inadvertently entered jinn-inhabited worlds, angered them, and suffered terrible consequences: rapid illnesses, mysterious disappearances, or unexplained disasters. There are stories of terrifying encounters in which entities have deceived, agitated, or even captured people who have approached too closely while posing as humans or other creatures. With their enigmatic abilities, the jinn could create illusions that moved before mortals' eyes, whispering in their brains and directing their very behavior. Humanity was deeply frightened by such powers. However, among the stories of awe, there were also reports of jinn establishing relationships with humans. Some were known to be enthralled with mortals' hearts, while others assumed the honorable positions of guardians and mentors. There were powerful people in the past who were thought to summon the jinn. They made sacred contracts in which they exchanged their devotion for knowledge, wealth, or extraordinary abilities that existed outside of the mortal world. However, these exchanges were always rife with danger. According to old stories, the jinn were skilled at deceit and could manipulate words and promises to suit their own purposes. Many who came to them for help ended up on the verge of insanity, bound to impossible agreements, or caught in curses. The jinn were believed to be more involved in human affairs than the charming fairies, whose existence was strongly associated with the natural wonders and the stories of regional folklore. A tapestry richer than mere deceit or magic was woven by the legends of their encounter. Whispers described jinn influencing the course of battle, revealing secrets and directing the destinies of kings. Look, they had immense power, a constantly shifting nature, and a presence that would always linger just outside the realm of human comprehension. Unpredictable interactions with humans are woven into the fabric by both jinn and fairies. They might reach out in kindness, giving gifts, offering counsel, or providing protection, but they can also be cruel, craft lies, or seek revenge. Their behavior is determined by their nature, the circumstances, and most importantly, the degree of kindness or cruelty they encounter from humanity. People who come into contact with them often find that they are governed by laws that are still unknown. Fairies have a reputation for being crafty and mischievous. According to some stories, they are said to bestow blessings on people who are kind and respectful of the earth and its holy spirits. Others warn of their darker tendencies. They frequently use enticing melodies, seductive lights, or subtle visual tricks to entice mortals into their realm. There are countless stories about people who get lost in a circle of magic and then come out to find that what seemed like a moment has turned into decades or even centuries. There are those magical creatures who demand that certain customs be followed, such as giving gifts, avoiding certain places, or not using their names in an unrespectful way. Breaking these silent agreements could lead to bad luck, illness, or the possibility of permanent loss. Indeed, there are eerie tales of people who, in their naivete, accept gifts or food from fairies only to find themselves ensnared by the charming creatures and permanently bound to their magical realm. Some people talk about changelings, who are tiny children, who are removed from their cradles and replaced with fairy children, who are frequently weak and odd. While some fairies take pleasure in deceiving tired travelers and leading them in endless circles through the forest, others harbor darker intentions and lure the unwary into their secret lairs, where they vanish forever. Interactions with jinn frequently take unexpected and enigmatic turns. While some people actively seek relationships with other people, others choose to stay detached from human affairs. According to old legends, jinn can connect with humans, impart knowledge, protect their paths, or give them extraordinary gifts from beyond the veil. However, a lot of stories warn against asking for their help because they are rarely sincere. The jinn have a reputation for taking offense quickly, so proceed with caution. There can be serious consequences if you treat them disrespectfully, whether it be by entering their sacred space, saying hurtful things, or attempting to control their will. The jinn are believed to have more direct control over human destiny than the charming fairies, whose essence is woven into the fabric of nature and the earth. People have made agreements with jinn only to regret them when the price is much higher than expected. According to some stories, the jinn are inquisitive creatures who help people out of curiosity or a spirit of mischief. However, according to other stories, any benefit they provide has unstated expenses. The art of deception becomes a recurring theme in the story as it develops, with jinns sometimes posing as kind before revealing their true motivations. The act of calling forth or communicating with jinn is explicitly discouraged in Islamic teachings because their actual nature is still unknown and unclear. Unlike the charming fairies of myth and legend, the jinn inhabit a world that combines the supernatural with deep religious meaning. Jinn and fairies can both be honored with certain rites, but the exact rules are different. According to some customs, fairies need presents of bread, milk, or money to make sure they don't cause trouble or mischief for the populace. Some people think that just being aware of them brings bad luck. Since jinn are believed to reside in specific realms, entering these hallowed spaces without permission may bring about one's own destruction. Some believe that iron, salt, or specific prayers can drive them out, but nothing is absolutely foolproof. Despite coming from different worlds, jinn and fairies both require careful thought. Meetings with them carry a burden of unspoken rules, and those who disobey them frequently suffer the consequences. Whether they are villains, friends, or shadowy characters, their presence teaches a timeless lesson. In the world of the paranormal, every interaction has a cost. As we come to the end of this investigation into the fascinating myths and mysterious creatures of fairies and jinn, I am struck by how deeply these beings resonate with the human spirit. They might initially seem like straightforward stories or captivating tales meant to entertain or warn. As we follow the stories, we discover that jinn and fairies both represent something more profound, mystical creatures that hover just out of reach and beckon us to consider the meaning of life and our place in its vast scheme. I find it fascinating how these two beings, despite coming from different cultural backgrounds, represent the common human quest to unravel the mysteries of life, of forces that have the capacity to shape our lives in ways we cannot control or comprehend. This journey shows a profound truth. We are drawn to these beings not only because of their amazing abilities or mysterious happenings, but also because of their ability to blur the boundaries between our world and the beyond. Through their whimsical yet dangerous antics, creatures such as fairies, who dance through the woods, represent the essence of nature in the realm of the fantastic. Then there are the jinn, strong beings who weave the strands of life and fate. Both serve as a reminder that there are many mysteries and hidden wonders in the world that are just waiting to be solved. I now ask you to reflect carefully on your own beliefs about the mysteries that are hidden from view. These stories reveal what makes us human and how we see the world. Dare to challenge the stories that have been passed down through the ages rather than just accepting them. Explore the rich tapestry of stories, learn about the cultural and sacred contexts, and have deep discussions with other seekers. These travels have the potential to blur the boundaries between myth and reality beyond our initial expectations. If you stay curious and keep looking for answers, you might discover the wonders that are waiting for you.